Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Let's go find Leoder and deal with the Daeran.
I'm gone.
Hurry up before all these summons despawn. Leoder plays his role perfectly. He stands before the improvised place of execution, formidable and emotionless, like the living embodiment of inescapable retribution. Commander, I'm glad to see that you held up your end of the deal. The Mendev Inquisition thanks you. We'll take custody of the criminal now. It's hard to read anything on Daeran's face. My, pretty curious installation. Count Arendae, the Mendev Inquisition finds you guilty of treason, criminal links to demonic cults, orchestrating the murders of several of this country's citizens, who were killed and decapitated by you or your accomplices in Canabras, and a range of other places. I, Leoder Hawkblade, Inquisitor and Exterminator of the demonic blight by the grace of the Inheritor, have been authorized to carry out the sentence. Death by fire. With the permission of the Commander, we will begin. Daeran darts a glance at you, seemingly lost for words. Might be a little over the top. Do you really think I would agree to tolerate you forever? Miserable excuse for a man that you are. I'll enjoy watching you roast at the stake. Don't disappoint me now. Scream as loud as you can. The Inquisitor, who seems to be listening to something only he can sense, gives you a subtle nod. It appears everything is going as planned. The rest of your companions exchange bewildered glances, but keep watching without a word, understanding that something unusual is about to happen. Daeran seems shaken by your words. He looks away for a moment, then asks with feigned glee. Burning at the stake, A trifle old-fashioned. I thought you'd offer something a little more sophisticated for your noble clientele. But what interests me most is what your role is in all of this, Donald. Just a word there. You're an arrogant, pompous brat who thinks too highly of himself. I've been watching you and dreaming of making you die a lonely, humiliating death. Leoder's face expresses undisguised approval. He shifts his stance, readying himself to fight. Anger flares up in Daeran's eyes, but he immediately hides it behind a mask of indifference. Such a highly, highly commendable act by such a truly, truly decent person. Wouldn't you agree, Commander? Leoder stands motionless like a statue. He stares at you expectantly, as if asking you permission to continue. You've mocked and hurt others your entire life. Now it's your turn. Take your place at the stake, and endure the agonizing death you deserve. Leoder gives a barely perceptible nod. A circle of runes starts to glow faintly at his feet. I see no point in going along with this drama any longer. Daeran's voice drips with venom, the most contemptuous smile imaginable flashing on his lips. I have no desire to entertain you and your friend, Commander. Feel free to do what you have planned. Hope that your attempt to rid the world of Daeran Arendae will not lead to any unforeseen incidents. With a blank face, the Inquisitor raises the torch. Let justice be served. There's a palpable shift in the surroundings. Everything seems to tremble, like in the moment before a thunderstorm. There are no bolts of lightning or rolls of thunder, but the sensation of some malicious presence, enraged and bewildered, rings through the air. We did it, Commander. It is coming, right into our trap. A scream of a dozen voices, soundless but powerful, drills into your ears and resounds over the land. The ritual circle drawn by the Inquisitor flares to life.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
The other, chaotic evil undead.
Don't hold back!
So yeah, our hammer will be useful here. Get these Devas out.
Begone!
Let's go ahead and get some of these other buffs out. This is one of the harder fights in the game, so you want to try and use what cooldowns you can. And now it bargains for its life. Or lives. A sudden silence falls over the battlefield, except for that war-playing sound. It is accompanied by the sensation of sinking into deep water, slowly and inevitably. The surface grows further and further away. The darkness grows deeper and deeper around you, and blows nothing but bottomless black. Voices sound inside your head. No, not voices. Images. Ideas. Deal. The blackness seems to extend its hand. A vague extremity. An open palm. Deal. Let go. Let go of us. An agonizing yearning for freedom grows through you, piercing your entire self. It comes from without, but you feel it as your own. Reward. You get reward. Power. Away. We will go. Away. The outdoor is closing. We'll step back. A picture of Daeran's severed head, dripping with blood, appears before your eyes, looking eerily real. What are you? A stream of feelings and images crashes upon your mind. They cannot be described in any language you know. You can only sense the general shape of them, the direction, the aftertaste. Space, void, death, infinity, journey, escape, hunger, over and over, hunger. What do you want? Secret. Keep the secret. Door. Close the door. A desperate desire to break free from the trap and escape lances through your mind and heart. So if you let the other go, he kills Daeran. I refuse. You will die, creature. The feeling of sinking into the depths is replaced by the sensation of a whirlpool roiling around you. Death. Freedom. Freedom. Death.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
Cover me, all right?
Cool. Main character got the killing blow with 28 damage. Poor Inquisitors did not stand a chance.
We do it my way.
Daeran wraps his arms around himself for a moment, clutching at his shoulders. With a slightly crazed look in his eyes, he surveys the area, his gaze never resting on anything in particular. His lips move, but no sound comes out. At last, the Count says, "It's over." I hope it is. The commander and I spared no effort to home in on this entity, and then to lure it into a trap. I assume now you understand the real reason behind everything we put you through, Count. I'm especially proud of my overly ruthless Inquisitor speech. I like you, Sir Not So Ruthless Inquisitor. It's a real shame that I shall have to kill you. Daeran, what are you talking about? Well, Daeran is speaking in a strange manner, apparently marveling at the sound of his own voice, tasting each word on his tongue. Either that, or the Inquisition will grip me by the throat and finally execute me. Unless they decide to lock me up in some closed facility for clerics and mages that would look suspiciously like a prison. The Order remains calm, despite the heavy toll of combat and the threat to his life. Count, you're without a doubt guilty of being in contact with a vile entity from the beyond and of concealing signs of its presence in Mendev and the Crusade. That makes you an accomplice to all the crimes committed by this other, whatever it is. Of course, Mendevian justice in all its glory. It is my duty to pass your case to the Inquisition Tribunal, but I am certain that the judges will take into consideration your youth and the extreme circumstances under which you first encountered the entity, and they'll treat you with leniency. I seriously doubt that the death sentence will ever even be raised as a possibility, but Leodir pauses. Count, can you still use your abilities as an oracle? What does that have to do with... You can. I am positive of it. I know how abilities like yours work. Unlike clerics, you do not gain your power by choice. You do not choose your destiny. You are simply chosen. The other, whatever it was, chose you. You became its gateway and thus acquired your power. Now it is dead, but this power still remains with you. This means that the gateway wasn't sealed to the death of its creator. Hence, you, Count, are an open road into the unknown, where these horrible head-collecting entities come from. You remain a threat, and this means that there's a high probability that the Tribunal will decide to send you to a closed asylum, where you will remain under the Church's supervision for the rest of your life. Do I get a say in this? Your achievements are great, Commander. Perhaps the Mendev Inquisition's Tribunal will listen to your arguments, but I can't promise anything. Daeran, do you have anything to say about the Gateway and all the other things the Order is talking about? Daeran licks his lips nervously. Of all those assembled here, I'm going to know the least about these creatures and what they were trying to do to me. I was simply instructed to keep my mouth shut. Otherwise, the next severed head would be my own. So I said nothing. I've been saying nothing for 10 long years, while they used me to come and go from this world as they pleased. Oh, I don't know how it works. I don't know if there is some road inside me, or where it may lead. There must be another way to resolve this. Another way. I'm afraid there is no such way, Commander. Don't ask me to sacrifice my principles. I will never do that. The only thing I can say is that this Tribunal's verdict, no matter what it will most probably not be carried out as long as active hostilities continue in the Crusade. But after they are over, we'll have to step in. So, I missed something this playthrough. I got it in my first playthrough. I don't know where I messed up this time. You can convince... You might have to lie. So when we're convincing Daeran, like trying to intimidate him at the beginning of this sequence, you have the option to lie about wanting to hand him over. Maybe that's what's required, because you can convince Leodir to take Daeran under your care, and so you'll watch him instead of the Inquisition. Actually, there is another way. You can kill me right here and now. Daeran chuckles, and waves his hand and rubs his eyes tiredly. I'm not joking, and I'm not being overdramatic. I'm not going to that darn tribunal. I'm not going to any darn asylum. This life, so-called life, they prepared for me is everything I have ever hated, with a little extra on top. I will not be able to live like that. I never even want to try. I'd much prefer to take one final breath as a free man, than to live decades more with a noose around my neck. I'm a lawful good paladin, so I'm going to take option 2. I do wish I had the other option, but unfortunately I don't. And I'm not sure what the actual requirements are for it. I somehow stumbled into it my first run, but every run after that I failed. I agree to hand Daeran over to the Inquisition Tribunal. Fine. The Tribunal it is. Huh. You expect me to be a good little boy and come quietly, do you? What are you doing? Daeran looks at you without a hint of regret. Well, as the saying goes, I've just taken my destiny into my own hands. And I must admit, it feels absolutely fantastic. After all those years living under the tyranny of foul creatures that use me as a door to their attic, or whatever hovel they live in, I finally made an independent decision of my own. See, I don't like that line. This is the last stun I'll tolerate from you. The next time will end badly for you. Fine, but I can't promise anything. If I've ever dreamed of anything, is of being my own master. I shall keep following you for now, but I haven't the faintest intention of seeking out a new keeper.
Follow if you dare.
It's an odd word. Freedom.
Why did you mention freedom?
Because it is the only thing that really matters. The only thing.
I have so many questions for you, about the other, and more.
Let's postpone this conversation till we are back at camp or somewhere else safe. Apologies, but I'm too exhausted now to talk about it. First, I need to convince myself that it's all over.
We have to go.
You know, I must thank you for ridding me of those creatures. Bad enough that I had to rid myself of another, a creature of Iomedae in that case. You help me and tolerate me, and that is more care than anyone else has ever shown me. I'm not sure that you give a damn about my gratitude, but I am grateful nevertheless.
I'm off.
So that didn't go the way I wanted it to. And I probably should have killed Daeran after he killed the Odor. But we still have a world wound to close, and he is a valuable ally, and we are pursuing the greater good.
I do what I must.
And Daeran can always be dealt with later. We did increase his wisdom, right? Yeah.
I'm gone. My skills are absolute. We should move.
There you are. I have a number of new questions for you. I thought so. Daeran gives you a sad smile. Do you know what that entity haunting you was exactly? We called it the Other. It is not an entity, but entities. You may still call them the Other if you wish. It's a fitting name. I myself invented several hundred different names for them over the course of our 10 years together. Most of those were completely unutterable in any polite society, of course. You wish to know what exactly that thing was. I can't give you much more information, I'm afraid. They were countless. They were dead. They all had some kind of a joint consciousness. Like a swarm of ghosts. One thing is certain. Those ghosts were not of our world. Did you voluntarily agree to all the conditions proposed by the other? It was absolutely voluntary, if you forget about the demonic plague or the murderous Lilidu orchestrating it. It was either that or certain death. What was it like living with that? It was most certainly an unforgettable experience. In all seriousness, though, I'm not sure I'm ready to talk about it quite yet. The other have grown so deep into me, I still can't fully process the fact that the leash, the constant surveillance, is gone. A mind-altering realization in all senses of the word. Why did the other behave so oddly, concealing their presence by any means possible, while at the same time beheading demons and humans alike? I haven't the slightest clue. Absolutely no idea. They did not talk to me much, except for a few rare instances when they wanted to frighten me, or make me do something for them. I'm not even sure about those heads, whether they actually killed anyone, or simply found corpses and took the parts they liked the most. I had plenty of time to hypothesize over the years, and I came up with several theories. I'm not sure if any of them are true, but I think the other were not hiding from us mortals. It looked more like they were afraid of gods and other powerful entities. You can't roam around this world without stumbling upon a cleric or a cultist, and those fellows are more than happy to pass the news on to their patrons. This might be the only reason for the other not to reveal themselves around mortals, although nobody was truly able to threaten their existence until they met the mythical commander of the Fifth Crusade. Why didn't the other come out to defend you before? After all, you found yourself in danger on multiple occasions on your travels with me. That is certainly true. You're a source of endless danger, and fun. As for your question, Daeran sighs. I took some precautions to vouchsafe my life. I contracted with... Excuse me, I had to cough. I contracted with Abadar's temple in the capital. It cost me several years' worth of revenue from all my estates combined. Under the contract, if I fail to make contact with the temple for a year, the cleric shall be obligated to use their sacred magic to discover my fate, and conduct a resurrection ritual should it turn out that I have met a premature end. The other, they knew about it, like they knew about literally everything else that ever happened to me. I felt their presence, their otherworldly scrutiny, as I negotiated the terms and signed the contract. The prospect of being denied their gateway for a year did not seem to perturb them. It seems, provided that I would be resurrected later. But with you, it was a very different matter. Your threat even to demon lords. In your presence, the other were agitated, uneasy. And they flew into a rage when you expressed your intention to kill me. I found out everything I wanted to know. On the one hand, I'm glad to be able to talk about this freely. On the other, I don't wish to remember it again.
I am never wrong.
I feel like there was something else I had to do. But I don't remember what. Oh, he's still equipped. That is odd. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it here. I know that there's a, advisor, council conversation to have once we enter this building. Well, it may not happen until the next day. I don't know if it's been a day since I started that decree. We'll find out next time either way. So for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.